Yo, welcome to another video with me. Today I wanna talk about and play and show that harmonica thing, that imitation of a blues harmonica on a guitar. Like, when you think about the master of the imitation of harmonica on a guitar, that of course was Beck. And I don't want to try to copy Beck here. Neither I want, neither I can, because he was the master and nobody sounds like him, and it's just almost impossible. But we try to get as close as possible. And anyway, I just want to show the idea behind it and the technique just by talking about Beck. Many people make the mistake to just reduce him to that imitation of the harmonica on his Stratocaster. He was a master of imitation, imitate actually anything. Like sometimes it sounds like a sitar. And there's, for example, that story when he was sitting in his garden with his Stratocaster, and there was a bird up on the trees, and he tried to imitate that whistling, the twitter of the bird, and the guy who was watching him said it took him like 2 hours, but he didn't give up until he had it. Yeah. That is just the imitation of the harmonica by Beck. Is just one part of his style, because it's everything Beck is way bigger. There's much more inside his playing than only the harmonica thing. But we want to just pick that little part, that harmonica imitation. That is what we want to try today. What we want to try. Not so easy to do. Well, first here we have I started with the super simple setup, the little positive grid amp here, but you can use any amp you like. I just selected like a little old school bluesy crunch amp. I guess I added a little distortion, like a tube screamer in front, but everything is actually still mellow. Not super heavy, overdriven. Anyway, and then we just have a Strat. This one has the Mazio Utopia single coils, but that doesn't really matter. What really is important, I think, is the whammy bar has to be super responsive. I have a go-to in here, but a friend of mine has a old 50 style Stratocaster, and with that, the whammy bar where you screw in, and that there's so much play. You can do it. You're getting used to it, but it's harder. It's easy when the thing is very reacts to every little movement you do. Just by the way, we're recording. I'm not recording with a door thumping. Everything you hear comes straight from the camera microphone. But I think later I upgrade the sound a little. Just by the way. So okay, later we make it a little more. We go even more closer to the sound, because we use the big amp, the tube amp, and the wah-wah, and I guess also tube screamer. I tried a couple of different distortion and overdrive pedals, but there's only the tube screamer is the one you have you have to use. We will see later. Okay, what I'm actually doing is basically we take the pentatonic, the blues note, the blues scale in E minor. Then we just pick a couple of notes that we need. Is of course the root note, just an octave higher, the E, and then the D is one lower. Even only with these two notes we can do that bebop thing that is important. I show you later. There's a guy who plays that on a harmonica. I found it on YouTube. I just show you a little clip here. And I try to make it a little bit like that bebop style, a little bit. Okay, like okay. So actually the scale we're using is the E blues scale or the E minor pentatonic, because somehow in that range it sounds, to me at least, it sounds the most kind like a blues harmonica, I think. But of course you can play it in other keys also. But you will see in E it sounds kind of special. It's just the first shade. And we do not even need all notes, just a few. That is the D. Then we need the E, of course, the root note, one octave higher. And we need the G sharp, the E, the A, the B, and the D. Okay, one more time. No, actually, we can forget about it. We actually just need the E. Start from the E and make the D the highest. Back to the A, G sharp, E. Okay, and this one sounds to me like very kind of bluesy. Oh yeah. Completely forgot about when you make that E and D and E. That gives you that bebop feeling. And of course you have to try to imitate with the vibrato. What the blues harp player is doing is always vibrating. No? And then there's two cool things. What you can add is when you play like almost like a double stop, like two notes together, like this. But what you have to do, of course, first you go a little down with the whammy, play the notes just a little down, and let them come up. It's really hard to do slow. Look, these two. I guess you get the idea. Or these two. Sounds like a train. Like, okay. You don't need actually a Stratocaster. I did it on one of my Ibanez. I'll show you later with a Floyd Rose. Like I told you, I guess the important thing is that the Whammy barcode is very responsive to your fingers. That is most important thing so far. Yeah. And then of course it's up to you. Some prefer the sound of the bridge, others of the neck. So somehow they are all cool. Okay, let's switch to the big system. Okay, then a little bit about the equipment we use, what is later gonna be important. The wah-wah pedal, I use the Ibanez WH10, but any other wah-wah will do. And tube screamers, I prefer actually the TS9 because for that harmonica sound it's a little bit more spicy, but that's just a matter of taste. And if things get noisy, so I put in my Pictronics noise gate, the gatekeeper. That's all we're gonna use now. And the amp is my Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister Deluxe 20. We use the distorted channel most of the time, this one, and we play over my Marshall 4x12. This is equipped with Celestion's V-types. They sound awesome. So here we go. Okay, and now, like I told you before, with the Ibanez RG Floyd Rose. The rest is the same. Let's give it a try. Also working, but on a Strat is easier.
I guess you get the idea. Thanks for watching. See you next time.